Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. And it's a pleasure to be here representing Zhono Microelectronics again this year. And we hope you enjoy the presentation. My name is Doran. I'm the head of European business for Zhono. And I'm here today to share some insights into the European market to make you more aware, perhaps, if you're considering targeting the European market, some things to look out for, okay? Europe is a big marketplace, over nearly 400 million people, and it provides a great opportunity for foreign investment, and Zhono has benefited very greatly with its market opportunities in Europe. So I'd like to share with you some of those opportunities to consider. And hopefully, if you have any questions, you can come and see us on our booth 3420, okay? So, let's begin. Next slide, please. So when looking at the European market, there are four key drivers which we need to consider. Technology and innovation. Obviously, this is moving at a very fast pace. And with the advent of new technologies, including artificial intelligence, it's important that as a technology company that we keep up with all the technological advancements and integration into our industry. Second one is rapid product launch. This is becoming more and more and increasingly important because the sooner and quicker you can get your product to market, the more opportunity that you have. If we go back 10, 15, 20 years, there was always quite a large lag between the OEM releasing a product and the aftermarket releasing a product. But that gap has become shorter and shorter, and those companies that can launch a product quickly and get it to market quickly will have the greatest opportunity. The third one is localized services. This is again become increasingly important in the global scheme of things, particularly in the current political environment where we've seen increased tariffs, the challenges with the global supply chains, distribution, and so on. So localized services become increasingly important, and if you can offer a local service in a local language, in the local time frame, this gives you a great and strong advantage in the marketplace. And then particularly in Europe, what we're seeing increasingly is new green or environmental legislation, okay? And this has been driven by the European Parliament, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the regulations, but you need to be aware and conscious that if you're dealing particularly with large corporations in Europe or government bodies, big institutions, they will expect that you have taken consideration of the environment and sustainability, and you've looked at the circular economy, okay? So we'll jump into that a bit more. So looking at some of the opportunities then, obviously, there are many, but the market is not growing, so you have to really be precise about where your opportunities are, and you have to go hunting. But with smart chips, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and the digital service models, subscription models, and so on, there are opportunities here for new suppliers and investment in Europe. However, there are challenges, and there are many, and it's becoming increasingly complex in the marketplace, particularly with the OEMs increasing their encryption, their barriers and challenges to enter the market, okay? So the OEMs are really protecting their market share. So you need good technology departments, you need good support in order to keep up with the OEMs. And of course, the impact really is that if you have a product that is first to market, that is technologically sound, then you can develop good partnerships in Europe. And those partners will expect you to keep them up to date with what's happening. Okay, but it does mean that you can build strong relationships. Next slide, please. So at Zhono, we're an independent chip manufacturer, which you may know, but we have a comprehensive firmware upgrade system. Firmware has become a major challenge around the world, but particularly in Europe. The OEMs are frequently releasing new firmware, and that becomes a challenge, particularly for a chip manufacturer like Zhono. So it's important that we stay up to date and in control of the technology in order to minimize the effect of firmware on our customers, okay? We have a daily tracking department that tracks all firmware, so when it's released, we can respond very quickly. We can inform our customers in order to let them know that they need to take action. And then we support our customers with solutions. And normally, we are able to resolve the situation in very fast time. And then we have dedicated devices which enable our customers not only to reset and reprogram chips, but also to update their firmware. Okay, and we can do that in real time within a matter of days, at most a week. Next slide. So I talked about how important it was to keep up with the OEMs. So first to market products are very, very critical. Okay, our customers expect it. We support our customers and where we can. We try and get our products to market as quickly as we can. Okay, that way we decrease the window or minimize the window for the OEM to seize the sales opportunity. So first to market products, very, very important. And we're doing everything we can to accelerate the product launch. And we have a strategic shift in the way that we manage our partners and our customers by offering local and regional support. Next slide, please. Just a little bit of background into Zhono. Zhono is an independent company. We have 3 R&D centers in China. We've been working in this industry, in this market, since 2013, so a long time. We have a lot of experience and knowledge, and we have over 220 employees, and 20% of our revenue is invested back into R&D so that we can keep up with the OEMs. We have state-of-the-art machinery, devices, and technology to enable us to develop chips quickly that perform and respond just like the OEM. We cover over 10,000 SKUs in our portfolio, and we have offices in Europe, America, and of course in Asia. Next slide, please. So it's okay being first to market, but the product has to work, right? So with all Zhono chips, they go through a very rigorous and defined testing process. And it starts on the left here with testing our chips with the OEM product first, and then it goes through a very detailed process where we test it in for serial numbers, we test it in consumer environments, MPS environments, and all of this leads to a very elaborate and comprehensive test report for our customers. So this is a constant process that happens with every chip. And without this, then we don't have a product to get first to market. So this has to happen first. Next slide, please. So we have some values that we like to stand by offering localized services to our partners. We can provide tailored solutions by having service centers around the world that can offer technical support, customer support, firmware updates, and so on, where we can support our customers in real time and in their local language. Okay, so this is very critical. It enables us to establish a local and technical infrastructure, so we have people in country who can offer technical support rather than waiting for China to wake up in order to get support. So we can offer this around the clock. And of course, it means that we've had to have a shift in our global supply chain. Okay, so rather than taking 6 or 7 days or a week to ship products, we now have products in country, so we can supply our customer base within 24 hours. Okay, very, very important to service local markets with local product. Okay, so we have stock in place, we have technical support in place, and we have salespeople in place in each of the countries. So this is very, very critical. Next slide, please. So we've been embarking on a series of investments in local service centers in order to support those customers. Okay, and as I mentioned in the previous slide, we can offer local rapid support when it's needed. It enables us to reduce our cost by not shipping lots of products. We can have stock in country, and our local service centers can supply next day. And of course, with a local service center and languages, we can offer efficient communication in the language of our customers. It's very, very critical. Next slide, please. So we're now starting to build on our success around the world, particularly in Europe, but now we have plans to open more service centers to support our local customers. And after Europe, we're now looking at another service center in the United States. And you can see here that we're represented in over 150 countries around the world. People rely on us as an independent chip supplier to provide them with good quality products in time that can perform and have the quality of an OEM chip. Next slide. So let's look at some of those challenges in terms of the regulations, particularly in Europe. We're seeing a big push towards circular economy, sustainability, and what I call green environmental products. Okay, so you have to be aware of this, because as we move into the next year or so, this regulation will be enforced and it will be policed. So it's no longer any good just to hope to ship a product into Europe and it's going to be accepted. Okay, it has to meet certain requirements and certain regulations, including eco-design, the Right to Repair Act, Roche, and the Green Deal. So, you know, we're moving more and more to a circular economy in Europe, where we expect more products to be refurbished and recycled. And companies and customers that can offer components and a recycle service will take the largest share of the market. And of course, what's going to happen as we move forward, these regulations are going to become mandatory, okay? So your product, whether it's a component or a finished cartridge, has to comply with EU regulations, has to be compliant, okay? If it's not, then it won't be accepted in any of the government tenders, the large corporations, if it doesn't comply with the local and regional laws and regulations, okay? This is becoming more and more increasingly important. Next slide, please. So I think the last data that I saw was something like over 1.3 billion cartridges are sold every year around the world. And research suggests that probably around 70% of these still end up in landfill, okay? As much as the aftermarket and this industry has grown, we still see a lot of cartridges going into landfill and wasted, okay? So it's important that as an industry, we grab hold of this and we look at ways of, A, collecting the product, but then remanufacturing it, and this is where we support our customers with components and chips. But what we're seeing in Europe now is a growing market in the refurbished printers, recycled printers. These can be repaired, recycled, and remarketed into other countries, or indeed into Europe, into what we call the second-hand market. Okay? And similarly, with chips, we're making more and more chips now that can be reset, so they become a sustainable component within the whole complex integration of components in a cartridge. And customers in Europe like to be able to recycle in order to meet the requirements and regulations set out by the European Parliament. So resetting of chips is becoming more and more popular, and we're seeing more and more requests for these products. Next slide, please. So we've been busy developing many devices, but our latest device, which you can see on our booth demonstration, is the ProGeezy 3. This is a very elaborate and comprehensive resetting device with a large screen pad. It offers a Bluetooth capability, so you can connect to devices, up to 5 different devices simultaneously. It has a large touch screen. It's got an 8-core processor, so it's probably the fastest resetting device. So it means you can take 1 second to reset a chip, or indeed you can reset chips in batches. Okay, so for a production line, this is very, very critical and important. And we reset many, many different OEM models. So again, please come to the booth, have a play with our resetting device, and you'll see for yourself how good it is and how well it can be used in the production environment. Next slide, please. So we say to our European customers, we're not just a chip supplier, we're an independent chip supplier, and we're your partner. Okay, and if you have specific projects or goals in terms of recycling products, we can support you and we can help you. Okay, and we're there to help, whether it's resetting or new chips, new technology. We're your partner, offering local support, updates when they're necessary, advice on firmware and what to do, and we will be your continual partner. So let's team up, break barriers, and we grow together. Next slide, please. So just a couple of highlights might be interesting for you on the booth this week. So we've got later today at 2:30, we've got our IP lawyer will be represented on the stand, and he will be giving a presentation on IP. Again, this is another important area, not just in Europe, but around the world now, right? So we know the OEMs are using a lot of their IP capability to prevent the aftermarket. Okay, so this becomes a very, very important topic. So we have our IP lawyer who will be available to give a presentation on the stand at 2:30. And then tomorrow, I will be giving a presentation on firmware updates and the key areas around firmware and what we're doing as a company to support our customers. Okay, so if you can join us tomorrow, please come along to the booth at 2:30, and you can see me again giving a presentation on firmware. Next slide, please. So thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. As I say, if you want to come and ask questions, see some of our products, please come down to our booth, and we'll be pleased to greet you and meet you. Thank you very much.